Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another week on the channel. Busy weekend, gigs and 80s and 70s discos. I'm absolutely shattered. Can't cope with going out 2 nights on the trot. Anyway, we're going to start this week with a viewer's request, and it's a band that I do love, and they're called the J.Geils Band. Formed in 1967 in Worcester, Massachusetts, under the leadership of John J. Giles. The original members were Peter Wolf on vocals, Richard Magic Dick Schwartz on the harmonica, Stephen Bladd on the drums, Seth Justman bass, Danny Klein on the bass. Very rhythm and blues rock band. Got a little bit mainstream towards the end of their career, which brought the band at its commercial peak. 11 albums, like most of them, but there's one that I'm not too keen on. And they've put out 11 albums, so we'll have a look at these 11 albums. So, coming in at number 11, we have their last album that came out in 1984, and it's called You're Getting Even While I'm Getting Old. And this was the only album that Peter Wolf did not appear on, so it's Seth Justman on the keyboards and lead singing and backing vocals, spoken word, J. Giles on the guitars, Danny Klein on bass, Magic Dick on the harmonica, and Stephen Bladd on the drums. First track on this one is called Concealed Weapons. I don't know, I don't like this. They've had some great root music and then they come up with this. Nah, not very good at all. Second track, Heavy Petting. The keyboard at the beginning just doesn't sound rhythm and blues. It's too poppy. Again, it's a track that I really don't like. Wasted Youth. The guitar riffs are really good in this one. I don't mind it. It's just that horrible, clean 80s drum sound, making Stephen Bladd's drum sound like he's put tea towels all over it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh dear, never heard such a noise. I just don't like it. Tell 'em Jonesy. Oh, this is pretty grim. It doesn't work for me. Then we get the title track, You're Getting Even While I'm Getting Old. This is probably one of the worst tracks by the band. It's so disjointed. I don't know what they were trying to do. I think they were going to keep hip, but it didn't work for me. The Bite Inside, I struggle this. The vocal is bad. There's just nothing I like about it. Californication, another load of tripe, doesn't work. The drums are terrible. The vocals are terrible. I Will Carry Your Heart Home. Of all the really bad tracks, this is probably the best one, the last track, and it's the only thing that really resembles a J. Geils track. Unfortunately, this is a bad album. I haven't got this one, and it's a good job it was their last. It's just abysmal. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 1 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 10, we have the 9th album from 1980 called Love Stinks. So it's the classic lineup with Peter Wolf, J. Giles, Magic Dick, Seth Justman, Danny Klein, and Stephen Joe Bladd. First track on here is just called Just Can't Wait. This opens up with a great J. Giles riff, and then you get that horrible keyboard that sort of ruins it for me. Come back again, some great riffs here from Jay. Keyboard doesn't work, but the brass does. Talking You Down. This one's a little bit more rocky. I quite like this. Jay's guitar sound good, and it sounds like a track from the band. Nighttime, great track. Magic Dick. I like his harmonica playing is brilliant. Favourite track on the album. Great riffs. I do like that. Anchovies. No anchovies, please. What the hell is this? It's just garbly ball going into an airport. I lose everything. There's nothing there. It's pretty crap. Love Stinks, the title track. This isn't too bad. I can cope with this one. It's one of the better tracks on the album. Then we get Trying Not to Think About It. Again, I love the guitar riffs on there. This is a bit more like it. It's got a bit of 80s production, but it's not a bad track. Desire, Please Don't Turn Away. Not a bad track either. It's got the resembles of something that sounds like a J.Geils track. And then the last track, Till the Walls Come Tumbling Down. It's not the best track on the album, but it has got a good guitar solos on this album track. Yeah, there's one or two good bits on this album. There's a lot of mediocre stuff on this as well, and I think this was the beginning of the end of the band. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 9 with the 10th album, released in 1981, and it was the last to feature Peter Wolf, and it is Freeze Frame. Very successful album for them. So it's Peter Wolf, Seth Justman, J.Geils, Danny Klein, Magic Dick and Stephen Bladd. Title track Freeze Frame's first track. It's okay, it's a very catchy tune, I don't mind that. Rage in the Cage, I love the start of this. Got the harmonica and guitars working in harmony. Magic does a great job on this one. The trumpet's good, solid track. Then we got Centerfold, of course. It is my favourite track on the album, and this is probably one of when people say J.Geils Band, they think of Centerfold. It's good, I like it. I love the video to it, it's quite fun. And I like the whistling at the end. Do You Remember When? Good track. Jay's guitars are great, solid. Insane again. The only good thing about this is Magic's harmonica, and that's about it. Flamethrower. Stephen's drumming is great on this, so is Magic's harmonica playing, but the bass line from Danny is funky. I like that track. River Blindness, not too bad. I like the middle bit with the guitar and the bass working well together. Good track. Angel in Blue, not very keen on this one. It's a little bit wishy-washy. And the last track is called Piss on the Wall. It's just a good old-fashioned rock and roll J.Geils track, some great riffing, great vocal from Peter, and not too bad. Of all the three albums I made in the 80s, this is probably the best one. It was their last, I'd say the last good album, and I'll give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 8, I'm going to 1977 now, and Monkey Island, 7th album. So it's Peter, J.Geils, Magic, Seth, Danny and Stephen, like they are on all the albums now. So first track is Surrender. Yeah, love that funky start to this. The bass line is great from Danny. Really funky keyboards here from Seth. Great vocal from Peter. Solid track. Then we get You're the Only One. I've never loved this song. It's just a bit mediocre 70s. Then we get I Do, which is a cover of a song called by the Marvelows from 1965. It's called I Do. This isn't a bad version. It's very close to the original, and I like that track a lot. Then we get my favourite track on here, Somebody. Good old-fashioned J.Geils Band rock track. lots of guitar riffs and a bit of harmonica in there. Excellent track. I'm Falling, it's alright, not one of the right moments on the album. Then we get Monkey Island. Without the drum beat at the start, it sounds more like Enola Gay by OMD. But it goes into a thing. It's a good guitar. Yeah, I like that track. It's not too bad. Then we get a great version of the Louis Armstrong song called I'm Not Rough. First recorded in 1927. This is a really great version. And Magic plays trumpet on this, and he's brilliant. I like that version. So good. Nothing wrong with this one. I like the brass on it. And the last track, Wreckage. Great song, great vocal from Peter on this. Really good album. Very consistent at this stage of their careers. Got some good tracks on this one, so I'll give it an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay then, coming in at number 7, got to 1974 now, the 5th album, and it's called Nightmares and Other Tales from the Vinyl Jungle. First track on here is Detroit Breakdown. This is more of a folk song than a blues song, but it's still a good, solid track. Giving It All Up, great track. It's a bit 12-bar boogie feel to it. Some great horns in this super track. Must Have Got Lost. Sorry. A little bit different, a bluesy sort of thing. Great vocal from Peter Wolf. Excellent track. Look at Me in the Eye. Some great guitar work here from J.Geils with a great funk beat. Very good. Nightmares. It's alright, bit mediocre. Stoop Down, number 39. Great track, my favourite on here. Good old fashioned track. Sounds very moody blues in places as well, so it's pretty good. I'll Be Coming Home. Really good. A little bit different, some great guitar work on it as well. Then we get a cover, it's called Funky Judge, which was done by Ball and the Matadors in 1968. Great version of this track. It's a more than Northern Soul sort of classic track, but this is a bit rocky and it does work. Then we get Getting Out, a bit more funky soul. It's quite good. This is a little bit different from the bluesy ones. It's still got some great soul and funk on it. I love this album. And I'll give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, then coming in at number 6, going to 1973 now, for the 4th album, Ladies Invited. First track on here, we've got Did You Know Wrong. Love the start of this. It's got that stampy Dave Clark 5 start to it. Great bass line from Danny. Seth's keyboard work on this is really good as well. Then we get I Can't Go On. Really good. Peter Wolf, great vocals, the keyboards and the drums work well together. And a belting harmonica from Magic. Lay Your Good Thing Down, a really good track. Again, it's a bluesy rock song with a bit of soul thrown in. Very, very good track. That's Why I'm Thinking of You. Very bluesy. Love these sort of tracks. One of my favourite track on the album. Then we get my favourite track. Starts very much like a Fleetwood Mac track. Great bass line from Danny. But what makes this is the harmonica playing absolutely amazing. The Lady Makes Demands. This has gone to a more of a Latino samba feel. Really good track. I like them sort of tracks. My Baby Don't Love Me. One of these sort of gentle tracks. Great keyboards from Seth on this. It's got that sort of Midwest gospel church feel to it. Diddy Boppin'. Love this. It's a bluesy soul track. Great vocal from Peter Wolf. The harmonica from Magic is just brilliant on this. Take a Chance on Romance. J.Geils' guitar work is good. This is a good rocker. Chimes. Love Seth's keyboards on this. Nice gentle guitar as well from Jay. Really good. What can you say? This is a great album from top to bottom. Trouble is they have made so many good albums. This is one of them. And I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay then, coming in at number 5, we've got the 8th album, released in 1978, and it's called Sanctuary. First track on here is a little track called I Could Hurt You. What a start! Great riff, the piano, great boogie, solid start. One Last Kiss, some great guitar work here from J.Geils. Very under-guitared player, I think. Excellent track. Take It Back, another really good track. Just love Magic's harmonica on this. Absolutely amazing. Then we get Sanctuary, my favourite track on here, and one of my favourite tracks by the J.Geils Band. Everything about it. Some solid drumming from Stephen. Magic's doing the magic on the harmonicas, and the piano from Seth is fantastic. Teresa's the next up. Really gentle tracks. Love the singing from Peter on this. Some nice harmonies on this. And Seth does some great work on the piano. Wild Man. Good intro on the piano from Seth. But it's just Magic again. And J.Geils on the guitars. Great track. Can't Believe You. I love the combination of J.Geils on this. It's a nice little track. I don't hang around much anymore. Least favourite on the track, that track on the album, but it's okay. I don't skip it. Then we end up with a great track called Just Can't Stop Me. Great little rocker. Keyboards brilliant from Seth, and Magic doing the business as always. Good album, great tracks on here. I do like playing this one. Just like some nice boogie rock. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.8. Okay then, coming in at number 4, we've got the self-titled debut album, the J.Geils Band, which was released in 1970. First track is called Wait. It's just one of them great little rock bluesy numbers. Great harmonica on this from Magic, brilliant. And the second track is called Icebreaker for the Big M. Blues, guitar riffs good, harmonica, terrific track. Cruising for Love, killer harmonica on this and Magic. The keyboards from Seth are just blend in with the harmonica. Just a great all-round bluesy number for me. Hard Driving Man, great vocal from Peter Wolf. And J.Geils' guitar work is brilliant on this. Then we get a cover of a John Lee Hooker song. Now I love John Lee Hooker, and they do a great version of Serves You Right to Suffer. Classic song from John Lee Hooker. Love this song anyway, but the harmonica from Magic really adds to it, and Peter sings this in the same vein as John Lee Hooker. Brilliant cover. Then we get another cover to Homework, Otis Rush. Again, great cover of this song. Love that. Then we have another song, a cover, A First Look at the Purse, written by Smokey Robinson. A really good version of this, first recorded by the Contours. Both versions are good. They really do an excellent cover. What's Your Hurry? Really nice start with this. It's got a real 60s feel to it. Great vocal from Peter Wolf. Then we get On Borrowed Time. This is a nice gentle guitar track. Great vocal from Peter. Then we get Pack Fair and Square, which is a big Walter Price song. Very old song. Really good. I think this is better than the original. Magic's harmonica is really good. Then my favourite track on here is the last track, and it's called Snow Cone. I love the drumming from Stephen on this. It's absolutely tremendous. Then you get some lovely organ coming in from Seth. Magic inspired on the harmonica. Brilliant. Very underrated album. It's got some great covers of bluesy tracks on here. As good as the originals. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Now this is where it really got hard. The top three, there is not much between them. You couldn't get a bus ticket between these. So coming in at number 3, we have the second album, released in 1971, and it is called The Morning After. First track on this one is called I Don't Need You Anymore. This is proper 12-bar boogie rock. Great piano and riffs, great vocal from Peter. Love this track, absolutely brilliant. And then we get that absolutely amazing Whamma Jammer, which is a Duke Joint Jimmy number. Oh, Magic's harmonica on this at the beginning is absolutely brilliant. Now, Duke Joint Jimmy is actually the band, but it's themselves, but it's a pseudonym they use. Yeah, they don't call it the J.Geils Band when they write it all together. It's Duke Joint Jimmy, and it's a great cover of Whamma Jammer. Show Sharp, love this track. Great vocal from Peter. The Usual Place, gentle blues cover of a track by Don Cavai and the Good Timers. It came out in '66, really good version of it. Gotta Have Your Love. The vocal from Peter on this is brilliant. Love the bluesy soul thing on this. Then we got Looking for Love. And this is a track from Valentino's number from 1962. Really good version of it. Gonna Find Me a New Love. My favourite track on here. It's just Magic's harmonica that blew you away. Cry One More Time. One of the gentler tracks on the album with a great solo from J.Geils. Floyd's Hotel. This is dominated by the harmonica and the piano. Absolutely great track. It Ain't What You Do, it's How You Do It. Great drumming from Stephen on this, and Magic is brilliant. A great album full of blues and soul. Love this album. Played this one a lot, and I'll give this one an RTO ranking of 8.3. So number 2 is the third album, released in 1973, Bloodshot. Got an additional person joining the band today. We got Mike Hunt on saxophone. First track is a cover by of the Showstoppers song, Ain't Nothing But a House Party. I love the original, but I like this version as well. It's terrific. Make Up Your Mind. Really good song. Mixture of that bluesy and Motown thrown into it. Excellent track. My favourite track then, Back to Get Ya. One of my favourite songs by the J.Geils Band. I just love the piano and guitar work, and this absolutely killer vocal from Peter as well. Strutting With My Baby. A really good track. Good old fashioned boogie woogie piano on this. Brilliant stuff. Then we get Don't Try to Hide It. Catchy number in the harmonica from Magic is terrific. The way it's played though, it could have been written in the 50s. It's an absolute brilliant song. South Side Shuffle. Great track, bluesy boogie number. Then we got Hold In Your Lovin'. This was done by Bernie Selson and Titus Turner. Once again, J.Geils do a great cover of a song that no one else seems to cover. Brilliant song. Start All Over Again. Love this. We got the harmonica, the saxophone in this, the Hammond organ. A song that probably should, when this was written in the 70s, it should have been probably written 30 years previous. It's just a great track. And then the last track is called Give It To Me. Another great track. Nice melody to this. Solid track. A brilliant album. it's just hard to choose the top 3 on this. They did some great covers on this that no one else seems to do. There's not much between these, especially between my number 2 and number 1. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.4. So, my favourite album. Now, if you're a fan, and you must know now, my favourite album is the 6th album from 1975, Hotline. Oh, opens up with Love It Is. 12-bar blues, boogie, status quo styles from the 70s. Brilliant. Great rock track. Easy Way Out. Some magic guitar playing on this from J.Geils. Such a good guitar player. Love that track. Think It Over. Now, this is one of my favourites of their mellower tracks. I just love Peter's vocal on this. He's best. The keyboard solo in this from Seth is fantastic as well. Then we got P, Careful What You Do, which is a John Brim song. A great cover. Magic on the harmonica, as good as the original. Absolutely brilliant. Then we get Jealous Love. Love this. That soulful, blues sound. Some great drumming on, and the bass line from Danny is absolutely amazing. Great track. Then Mean Love. This is my favourite track by the J.Geils Band. It's just purely of J.Geils guitar work. It's absolutely top drawer. The guitar sounds great. Brilliant live as well, this track. Great track. Then we get Orange Driver. This is probably the best cover of they've done by Eddie Guitar Burns. I think this has got more depth than the original. It's a brilliant version. Then we get another cover of a Curtis Mayfield song called Believe in Me. Solid track. I mean, Curtis Mayfield is great, but this is brilliant as well. Fancy Footwork. Love this. The bit in the middle where you get that guitar solo and funky organ. Thrown in a bit of great harmonica playing by Magic. Last track on the album. This was so tough, but I think this is my number 1 because it has got my favourite song by the band, and it's got my favourite cover they've done in Orange Driver. But the top 3 albums are just very hard to split, to be honest. They are such really high quality blues rock albums. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. So there we go. A great band. If you've just heard Centerfold, go and check out the back catalogue, because if you like boogie rock, you're going to love these. But I know there's a lot of you out there that really like this band. Okay, that's all for this one. We've got a classic album today as well, and this one is one of them albums that the critics panned it, but the fans loved it, and it is Duran Duran's album Rio. So join me for that, and I'll see you later. Bye for now.